So if you've watched a Fortnite pro player, you may have noticed their ability to pinpoint the exact footstep audio from their opponents, giving them a huge advantage and then usually leading to an easy elimination. Well, the way that that's possible is via 3 different elements. The first one is the Windows sound settings that they use, the second is the Fortnite audio settings they use, and the third one is the headset that they use. All of these 3 elements will be explained in this video today, so if the video does help out, please be sure to drop a like on it, drop a sub to the channel, and also use my code in the item shop to help me out a ton. Alright, first up is the Pro headsets. Whatever you guys do, please do not use speakers as your main audio device, as these will give you a massive disadvantage because of their low audio quality and just absolute awful spatial awareness for pinpointing in-game sound. Speakers in general are just really bad, they're usually a lot cheaper and they're not really designed for gaming in any sort of way. Instead, what is designed for gaming are usually headsets. These can give you a massive advantage over anything else as they usually have great audio, they usually have noise cancellation / insulation of some way, and also provide amazing spatial awareness for pinpointing in-game sounds. From my research, a lot of pros use a gaming headset, around 29% of pros use the HyperX Cloud 2s, around 26% use the Logitech G Pro X headset, 20% use the Beard Dynamic DT990 Pro, and the remaining 25% of pros are using a different headset of all kind. But if you go on Amazon, there's a ton of different brands out there. One of the pros will most likely be using one of these. Next up, for Windows sound, we want to firstly update our audio drivers via opening the device manager like so. You then want to go into the sound option right here, sound, video, and game controllers. Open up that, and then in here you want to locate your main audio driver. Now for most people out there, it'll be the default one that comes pre-installed with Windows. That's the high definition audio device. To update this, you can literally right click on it and click update driver, but a lot of you may see the Realtek audio driver, which if that appears, do the same thing, right click on it and click update driver. It'll say, do you want to search for drivers automatically? Click yes, and as you can see, for me, I am thankfully using the best and most up-to-date driver for this one in particular. However, if you do want that better driver, that's the Realtek audio driver. It'll come up in Google like so. Just give that a search. You can also search the operating system that you want to install it on as well. So for me, at the minute, I'm on Windows 10. If you give that a search, then click on the first one, it'll be Intel. This will allow you to select the most latest version, which is the best one. You can see it gets updated quite frequently. If you scroll down, click it, give it a download, accept everything, and then literally just install it like so. From there, you can go ahead and configure, or rather set up, the Realtek audio driver, and once it's complete, you will have the latest driver for the Realtek audio driver, which is a better one than the default one that comes with Windows. After you have got the latest audio drivers, you want to then go onto your Windows settings and go into the system option right here. Then you want to locate sound on the left hand side, and here's where we're going to customize our Windows sound settings. Now for the output, you want to make sure that this is your main audio device that you actually hear the sounds from. Mine's configured to this, it's going to be different for you. And then for your input, this is where you want to select your mic. Obviously again, it'll be configured different for you, but make sure both of those are set up like so. From there, you can then scroll up and select the sound control panel, and in here is where we're going to do the same thing again. For your playback, just make sure you've got your main audio playback device selected on the default device. Same for recording, where your mic is, make sure that's selected. Then for sounds, you don't want to change anything on this, but for communications, you want to make sure this is selected on do nothing. After that, you want to go over to playback device and select your default device right here. Click on properties, or right click, sorry. Then in here is where the main customizations are going to be. For levels, I recommend putting this on 100% for system levels. Enhancements, now these used to be really popular back in the day. A lot of pros would use a lot of these. The main one was bass boost, which enhances the bass of sounds in game. Here's a little preview of that. And in addition to that, a lot of people would use this setting right here called spatial sound on the Windows Sonic for headphones. What this did is sort of enhance the footstep sounds of sounds in game. Here's a preview of that. But for any type of enhancement right now in this current season, I recommend actually not using any of them, as a lot of pros, and this isn't all pros, but a lot of pros have found that your performance is decreased while using these settings right here, even though they can in turn sort of give an advantage in terms of sound for specific headsets and for specific people out there. But if it is decreasing your performance in any sort of way, it is a good idea to disable all enhancements, and that's what most pros are actually doing these days. You don't really see them use bass boost or spatial sound anymore. And moving on from that, you want to go over to advanced, and this one is a bit of a personal preference one. A lot of people, when you select on this setting, there's a ton of different options. Most people do tend to use the lowest one, as it does give more performance, but it does lower the quality of your sound. And then there's other people out there that prefer to use the highest one for the best sound quality, although it does slightly decrease your FPS. But from my testing, both extremes don't really make a difference to performance. It's literally just the sound quality. But to be safe, what I tend to do is select the middle ground one, which is the 2-channel 24-bit 48000Hz studio quality sound. For me, I find this is the best one, and it could be the best one for you. For most people out there, it will be the middle ground one, which always sort of works. It's like a good balance between the two, really. In addition to that, for exclusive mode, both of these are just good to have on, in my opinion. From there though, you can apply and press OK. Next up, you want to go in game and configure your audio settings. Starting off with volume, all of these right here, that's main, music, sound effects, dialogue, voice, chat, cinematics, picture-in-picture, are all personal preference. But moving on from that to the more important settings, these are the sound settings. For sound quality, a lot of people tend to have this on low, because as you can see in game, it actually decreases your performance if you use high, and low increases your performance. However, from my testing on both low and high, the FPS difference was not even noticeable, so I myself prefer to put it on high to get the better sound quality in game, and a lot of pros tend to do that as well. But it's one of them that you need to try it out for yourselves in game, test it out, and see which one is more sort of worth it for you. Moving on from that, we've got 3D headphones. Now straight away, if you are not using stereo headphones, just don't even use this setting at all, or even consider it. If you have though, you can try having it on, but it's one of them where it's personal preference. You may enjoy it, you may not. I myself and a lot of people out there choose to have it off, but you might like it on. It's something you've got to try for yourselves, but make sure you are using stereo headphones. Moving on though, we've got the subtitles. Now this can be configured. I myself like to use these settings right here for the best FPS. Apparently it does give a slight FPS boost, and all of these settings are the best ones apparently. And moving on from that, we've got the main, like last setting, which is visualize sound effects. It's basically a visual indicator that points you towards a direction of nearby gunshots, grenades, vehicles, heels, footsteps, chests, and just so much more. Basically every single sound in the game, which can help massively and give you a huge advantage, as you can imagine. Now to prove how good this setting is, here's a quick clip of me trying to locate an opponent without even using this setting, having it turned off, and you can see the time is quite long compared to when I do the same task but while using the visualize sound effects option turned on. You can see just how much quicker I am able to find the opponent because of those visual indicators up top. But yeah, those right there are the best Fortnite audio settings, and overall I hope I've explained those 3 elements that help pros get better audio in the game in itself. If a video helped out, feel free to drop a like on it, drop a sub on the channel, and use my code in the item shop. And as well as that, be sure to check out these other helpful tutorials on screen right now.